Welcome back to Tristan's Spectacular Picks. As we go into Week 8 of the 2025 NFL season, I can confirm that we are striving for greatness. How's it going, everybody? This week, all games are back domestic for the time being, even though we do have some more international games on the way that come in the future. It's also not a so busy week in the NFL as we have 6 teams on bye weeks, so there will only be a total of 13 games, which is the least busiest week of the NFL. So hopefully we can make this video go fairly fast, but we also want to have some fun, so I don't want to hold this thing up too long. So let's begin with the Week 8 previews and making the picks before we get to all the other wonderful segments that you all know and love. The Vikings ended up suffering another loss again, even though they competed fairly well, which I would say that was expected, but the pressure was real as expected, and we're talking about pressure. The Los Angeles Chargers can exactly bring that to you, and the Chargers, they're looking more like themselves after some struggles fairly recently, but their running game is going to struggle for a little bit, and it may be something to look at in the trade market, honestly. Either way, I feel this is going to unlock Justin Herbert to take advantage of his wide receivers and do some running on the ground on his own. Like I said, I feel the Vikings just can't handle pressure, honestly, and the Chargers will find a way offensively here to score points, so I have the Chargers. You know, the fact that I'm so much not considering the Miami Dolphins is honestly just sad at this point. The team is more lost than someone at sea, which is a coincidence because there is indeed Dolphins lost at sea right now. They'll be going up against the Atlanta Falcons, who have been good, but they definitely haven't been great. They haven't really been able to go on a run, but I do believe that they are good on both sides of the ball. I really don't need to say more than this, but Tua Tagovailoa is a liability, and I can't really blame the coach here, honestly. I just think there's so many issues, and the Dolphins management, I would just blow the team up, honestly, at this point and start from scratch. And I have no faith, even though McDaniel wants to see no turnovers, but as mentioned, the team is lost, so I'm picking ATL. The Bears could be on top of the NFC North right now, but either way, I would say they're a contender in the division at the moment, even though I don't think they're better than about those other 2 teams that are up there with them. They've been on a roll lately with 4 wins in a row, and we're starting to see Caleb Williams click with the creative offensive scheme thanks to their new head coach. And it's really starting to all work, and the players are just having fun right now. It's an away game. They'll go up against the Baltimore Ravens, who concede points like wildfires. And the Bears have the opportunity to score over 30 points in this game. Baltimore just can't get anything done, which is wild. But whether we see Lamar Jackson or not, as mentioned in the past, I like the momentum the Bears have, so I'm going to pick the Chicago for this one. The Bills had a bye week after losing 2 games in a row, and they'll be back on the road against rival of the team they lost to most recently, and that is the Carolina Panthers, who are grinding wins out, so I expect this one to be close. And what I feel about this game is the Buffalo Bills, they'll just end up cleaning everything up on both sides of the ball, and we'll see a much better Bills team that we saw more towards the beginning of the year. Carolina Panthers are feeling good and all, but I feel it's going to be another dogfight for them. And I just don't know if Carolina can do it due to the circumstances, how they've won these games and them going up against the Bills. I just want to see more, so I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills. It's the same story. The Jets are going up against a team that's better than them. It'd probably be a different story if Joe Flacco wasn't playing at quarterback for the Bengals now, but no matter which quarterback ends up starting for the Jets, it's not really going to make much of a difference as they just can't produce much offense. They can play defense, but Flacco seems to have a really good bond with Jamar Chase already, so knowing the Bengals have a competent quarterback, it's the Bengals. The 49ers definitely don't seem as great as they were, which obviously makes sense due to the injuries. And they managed to get a massive game out of Christian McCaffrey, and they're going to probably need it again against a tough Texans front. Both of these teams are injured, which we know that's been a big story between these 2 teams. And the kickers on both sides, they can do a lot of solid things too. But what I do keep in mind is the 49ers have defied the odds. We've seen the Texans do some things, but not compared to the 49ers. And that's really what it's coming down to for me, and the 49ers are a little more healthy. I think Mac Jones can get it done here, so give me the 49ers. Once again, a common story here is the Cleveland Browns can play some defense, and they ended up getting an expected win last week. But how they did it, it was quite odd, honestly. Quinshawn Judkins, he ended up getting 3 touchdowns, but I expected a better game from Dylan Gabriel, and that concerns me for them going up against the New England Patriots. Drake May is continuing to look good, and the Patriots are honestly enjoying themselves right now, leading the AFC East still. And it literally just comes down to the rookie quarterback still struggling. And the Patriots, they're good defensively. It could be a field day for them if Gabriel doesn't play better. And I feel this will be competitive, but at home, this one should belong to the Patriots. Divisional foes, meet again. The Giants somehow lost to the Broncos recently in a wild way, and they're up against the Eagles, who lost to the Giants earlier this year from the rookie duo of Scabo and Dart, and it's something you want to keep in mind, but these divisional matchups, anything can happen. I feel the Eagles honestly did a lot better things when it came to the offensive side of the ball recently. If they can build on that, it will seem they're going to be able to start to build on an identity this season. The Giants have lost more than not, honestly, but they do have a little something. I think we'll see a fairly close game, but this game means a lot for the Eagles as they'll be wearing those Kelly Green throwbacks, and we've talked about the stakes where anything can happen in these type of games. I feel they don't want to lose to the Giants again. They're going to make sure it doesn't happen, so I'm thinking Philadelphia. Ah, yes. It's the rivalry that we all know and love. It's the Buccaneers and Saints, and the Buccaneers have taken over this rivalry. And it looks clear-cut, but you got to keep in mind it's a divisional game, and the Saints are going to want this one more than probably any other game in the season, minus the one on the road in Tampa. And we've talked about it all season, how the Saints play conservative, protect the football, and after a Buccaneers loss, I feel that Tampa's going to come out the gates running here, and they're going to throw a lot at the Saints, and it's going to be no blowout, but the Buccaneers still have weapons, minus the injuries, so it's going to be next man up mentality here. So say it with me, everyone. Buccaneers. Go Bucks. The Cowboys continue to strive at home, but we know their away games are really not pretty. They'll be going up against the Denver Broncos, rocking the throwbacks this week. So maybe we'll see Bo Nix look like John Elway, as we have for certain times. And the Broncos recently snuck away with a win after a complete explosion in the fourth quarter. So that's, I guess, great to build on. You don't want to be in that spot again, though, as Dallas is 100% healthy. And we know how good they are offensively. As mentioned, I keep in mind their struggles on the road in Denver's home field advantage. It's really close here, and you can go either way, but I'm looking for some X factors, and that's the crowd in Denver, which I've mentioned before on the channel, so I'm going to pick the Broncos here. Another divisional matchup sees these two teams meet once again. Tennessee will have a new coach on the sidelines, but what this means for them, honestly, is beyond me. I'm not sure how this is going to help them against the best team in the NFL right now, which is the Indianapolis Colts. I just can't see this game being close, and especially with it being in Indianapolis, where the Colts have not lost to the Titans since the year 2022, both at home and on the road. The Colts are better in about every position possible on the field, so let's see how good Indiana Jones is in a Colts win. For the first time in his career, Aaron Rodgers will go up against his former team, the Green Bay Packers. The Packers haven't looked the most impressive, in my opinion, even though their potential is there, but Love is starting to slow down. The Steelers do come into this game with a loss against the Cincinnati Bengals, who had a statement win, and it looked like the Steelers we saw early on in the year, honestly. And the good news is they're still well ahead in their division. So for this game, I'm looking for a Rodgers redemption game at home, and the Pittsburgh defense, I've praised to step it back up. It's going to be a showdown under the lights, but we've seen the Packers get stunned by teams in this division, specifically when it comes to defense. And with that all being said, I'm going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Commanders just can't stay consistent. It appears they'll finally have Terry McLaurin back, but it hasn't been an ideal sophomore year for Jaden Daniels either. There's just not enough things just clicking right now, and a team that does have things clicking is the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel Patrick Mahomes is having a really good, sneaky season as he has as many weapons available to him as possible now, and they're even getting a little more creative with the runs, so this team does feel completely locked in suddenly. They do come into this game with a shutout, and this team should be rested and feeling good, and I have Kansas City winning. For the tiebreaker, which is the Monday Night Football game between the Commanders and Chiefs, I have a total of 48 points being scored in this one. I have this game being close, and it's going to be a final score of 28-10 with the Chiefs winning. Hopefully Rashee Rice ends up staying out of trouble. Now, we're still in this elimination challenge, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. We've used 7 teams, obviously, so we need to make it 8 here. I didn't really consider any other teams once I saw my options. The only concern is it's a divisional matchup, but I am picking the Indianapolis Colts. Earlier in Nashville, they won 41-20, and that was with ease, and they are at home this time around, and they're currently ranked the best team in the NFL, as mentioned. I don't see what can go wrong here at all. The Titans do have a new coach, but that would be the only thing to honestly keep in mind, but I feel confident. So you may be wondering how we did for week 7, and we actually did something we haven't done all season, which we'll say that best moment for last year. Anyways, for week 7, Lucas had an absolute statement win, going 13 for 15. A lot of us were for sure behind with a 4-way tie for second, and then some stragglers 5th on back. So good job again, everybody. And then when we look at the league standings, I'm still the leader, and it's going to stay that way, Max. Zach is the one in 2nd, by the way, so we don't want to forget him. And we do got Mr. Head Guy in 4th, and if you look down the list, it's just pretty much very scattered. But you may be wondering, how did we do when it came to the games and how these stats line up? And we did another good thing, getting 100% accuracy for 6 of the games. Pretty good. But the huge takeaway is we never went 0% in the group. So that's why you see a 13% column, and you can see what games were the hardest to predict. The first game was something I didn't really so much expect, and shocked we didn't go 0% on that one. But the other game, that is all me. If you remember, it was me who picked Dallas to win. So I may have not won this week, but my football IQ was there, so subscribe for more football IQ moments. Lastly, it's time for the Week 7 replay edition, so sit back and relax as I watch myself in the dark. One side is significantly better than the other, and that belongs to the Steelers. Still feel that way, honestly. Many points every single week. They still did, to be fair. I expect that to happen again, and because we see missed field goals every single week. I don't think that this whole team trusts each other. I still don't think the Rams 100% trust each other. I mean, they didn't want them kicking field goals in that game. I mean, it worked for them, though. And the Giants do have their new favorite rookie pairing of Jackson Dart and Cam Skippo, but the loud atmosphere and the Broncos defense should be ready to crash. That was it's gonna be a humbling interesting. It was humbling. I'm going to be choosing offense to lead Dallas to the promised land to win this game, so I am very sorry, Tom. Ooh, it's bright. Anyways, that's going to be it for Week 8, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm still trying to get on the schedule, so hopefully this one is out in time. We should all be good by November. But anyways, thanks again for the support, and I will see you in the next edition of Just Some Spectacular Picks for Week 9. Take care.